Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley, and Ricky and I were just laughing because we literally saw each other like 9 hours ago. We were just here talking to you guys, and now so much has changed already in 9 hours. We got new tea, new receipts, although no, we have no tea or receipts. We just have rumors. That's all that is going around about the Love Island cast at the moment. So we'll get right into the receipt report. We don't have a good sound yet, so we're just going to say it's the receipt report for now until we get something a little more official going. So, yes, apparently you can't add sounds from this end, so we tried everything, but we're going to get an official sound. You know, it took us a little while to get our intro song, so we'll try not to take that long for this part. But
Right.
anyways, so what has come out in the last 9 hours? We got more more information about Kenny and Janae. Not really. We got more rumors about an ex of Kenny's. So what can you tell us about the situation?
Okay, so all I know is that allegedly TikTok is freaking out because they found some girl and Kenny was commenting and liking her pictures. He commented before he was in the villa. There were a few pictures that he liked post villa. Again, I'm not really sure where they're getting that she's an ex. Now they're running with, he was with her the whole time he was with Janae, and I feel like that's such a jump from like a like, you know what I mean, or even
Yes.
a comment. The comment was before he even knew Janae. It was like very close to his time in the villa, but a few months. I mean, like we said, everybody on Love Island is dating. They're young, they're hot. Like they all have something going on. Like I don't think him commenting on a hot girl's Instagram is really anything, but that is the new theory that this is the side chick and this is the girl that Kenny's been seeing all along. And I'm like, that is such a jump from a like.
Yeah, the comment and the like, some of them were before Love Island season 6 filmed, so like no problem there. He did like one right after, like August 20th. So, you know, that's not the best boyfriend behavior, but certainly not, you know, an indication of cheating for sure. And, you know, this was a very fast relationship. You go into this villa single, you come out in a relationship. He maybe just wasn't really thinking about it, scrolling on Instagram.
Janae and Kenny didn't make their, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't make their relationship official until some months outside of the villa, right?
Yeah, and this was like only maybe 3-4 weeks after they left, so still like early days. So yeah, I don't know why people are assuming this was an ex that he's been seeing the whole time. It's come out of nowhere just because he liked her photos, and the comments people are leaving on this girl's page are horrible. Like there's hundreds of comments of like, you're not as pretty as Janae, and like you're worthless, and just disgusting things. And
Yeah.
I mean, if this were true and it came out that it were true, the comments are still not okay. But we don't even know that this is true. It's so people to be tracking this girl down, and I do find it a little confusing in these situations why you don't just immediately post like it didn't happen, it's not true. But I guess sometimes they feel like that draws more attention to the situation, then articles run with it, and then you put your name out there further. But I don't feel like this is just going to go away. They're going to have to address it or come out with whatever has really happened, because the TikTok detectives, which we, you know, have been called before and we consider ourselves, but we also don't run with these rumors off of a like. So there has to be more proof, because they also are talking about another ex Kenny has, because he follows her and she follows him, and they had a photo together like a long time ago. But it's like, just because you follow an ex still doesn't mean you're still hooking up or anything. So
yeah, and Entertainment Tonight actually released an article saying that it's bad between Janae and Kenny, but cheating was not involved. So they said that they have a source that has confirmed that cheating was not the cause of the breakup. So if I'm gonna believe a random tweet or a random TikTok or Entertainment Tonight, I'm going to go with Entertainment Tonight because they do have some credibility.
Yeah.
But not to say that they haven't been wrong. I think that something massive must have happened, something major. Like, we just don't know what it is. We all have to be patient.
Yeah. People are speculating like very dark
Yes, I've
things
seen that.
because yeah, even Ariana has unfollowed him and she's obviously very friendly with the cast and close to them, but still not to that level like that they're all
They said
friends. So
Amaya unfollowed him too. I don't
yeah.
know if Amaya ever was following him, but Amaya apparently unfollowed him. So something has gone down. No one's talking. Usually in these kind of situations, you have a mole somewhere, you have a leak
Kendall.
somewhere. Everybody is like tight-lipped. I'm like, dang, like they've got some solid people around them. I'm like, Kendall, you want to spill the beans. Kendall's probably Entertainment Tonight's source.
Probably. He's probably everybody's source. We should have tried to talk to him, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I even follow him, but yeah, I don't know why they don't just come out and say what happened rather like especially for Kenny if it isn't these dark things people are speculating and there's no cheating, like Janae is really just letting everyone tear him apart, but then yeah, for
That
everyone to unfollow him, there was something bad.
that's what I'm saying. It's
So,
not. I don't think she would let everyone tear him apart if it was just like an amicable breakup. Something happened. And again, the longer, like I've seen some really crazy theories in my on my videos, and they're really not nice. And until we know what happened, all we can do is, you know, say that it was bad enough to where everybody, including Ariana, unfollowed him. So,
mhm. I definitely think we're gonna see Janae on like the Vile Files or Call Her Daddy or something this week. I think for this to be such a big story, it's something that isn't really solvable with just a little statement on a story. I think she will have a lot to say, and obviously she probably isn't ready to do that yet if it is something horrible. But then like we said, the longer you wait, the worse things get out there with people speculating and now like contacting all of your exes and digging into your past. So I could definitely see her being like the Vile Files going deeper guest on Wednesday. So we'll have to wait and see.
we'll
But
have to wait and see.
and then Brian and Amaya have found themselves in another little rumor mill, which this one is tricky because it is like plausible, right? Like we could see that possibly they have broken up, but there is no receipts, there is no proof. You can speculate all day long. We could be like, yeah, they maybe are broken up. He went to New York for a day, he didn't post with her. Maybe that looks a little weird. Maybe they broke up. But like for accounts to go out there and say they're broken up now, and then so many people run with it, and it's like we
Yeah.
could guess about everything out there and maybe be right half the time, but then what about the other half, right? So,
Right, right. And again, there's no proof that Brian, people are like, oh, he went to New York and he didn't see Amaya. There's no proof that he didn't see Amaya just because he didn't post a picture with her. Like,
mhm,
he was liking comments basically saying that he's spending time with family and they're taking space to spend time with family. So
mhm,
I would assume that if he's liking those types of comments, that's kind of where his head's at, that he doesn't have to be with Amaya 24/7 and that they're taking time to see their families. Like
yeah,
people haven't even they've been out of the villa 2 weeks now at this point.
yeah,
So they were all together last week in LA. So is it really that crazy for you to go to New York if you're only there for a day and see your family and not see
mhm,
your girlfriend who you just spent weeks in a villa with and just, spent a week in LA with? Like it's not really that crazy. Like if he didn't see her. I know some people are saying, oh, it's because Brian's been out partying. He's literally been hosting club events and
mm,
working and hosting meet and greets. And there's some videos circulating of him like pouring alcohol in girls' mouths, which is kind of like what you do when you host a club and when you're,
yeah,
you know, young and you've got all this fame, I guess, and you're the hot shit right now. I don't think
yeah,
that there's anything sinister to it.
no,
Again, a lot of people think that Brian never liked Amaya, that their relationship was fake, so they're so quick to assume that they broke up. Um, but there's no evidence that they actually broke up. And what do you think about the comments that he's liking? Do you think that that's an indicator of like them not breaking up?
I do think it definitely points more towards that. You know, he's trying to insinuate like we're just because we're not together 24/7, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. But like, however, just using like your logical brain, it's like I don't know how long they were together in the villa, not more than 2 weeks though, right? Like it was pretty short. They only met at the end. It was pretty whirlwind. I imagine it's a hard adjustment. So I don't necessarily think like everything is great and they're totally together and they have this great relationship. There's probably going to be some growing pains and some like taking space. Like they're not going to be glued at the hip 24/7 when they come out after they just did that. So I
Right.
don't think, yeah, we just don't know. Like I don't think it's like crazy that they could be broken up. It definitely could be possible, but I also think they could definitely be together. I think the only thing for sure is that they're not going to confirm anything till the reunion. They're definitely going to leave it open until then. So people are going to drive themselves crazy speculating. That's over a month away still. So,
Yeah.
you know, we can't know until either Brian or Amaya says it. As much as we can hear sources say, I heard they're broken up or this or that, like until one of them says it, there is no proof. So they're going to have every move like picked apart between now
Yeah.
and then though. So
Yeah. I mean, they still have each other's photos. They still
yeah.
have, which again might be part of their contract at this point. They need something for the Love Island reunion. But like I said, they still have each other's photos. They're still, you know, uh, time will tell. I don't
Yeah.
buy it. I don't think that just because he was in New York and didn't see her, it means that there's a breakup. Like that's the rumor this week. Last week it was that he was cheating and that they weren't
Mhm.
together 2 days after the villa, that he had a whole nother girl. You see that rumor just kind of withered away. Nobody's even talking about it this week. And
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know.
And that
There's specific page on Instagram that kind of does this. They just kind of throw SHIT at the wall and see if it will stick. And if it sticks, it
yeah.
sticks. And they're like, yay, I told you I was right. I have sources. And if they're wrong, they just never say anything or address it and just bury the post with new posts. So,
Right. Yeah, everyone just forgets about it. So, yeah, we prefer to be credible. So we're not going to tell you guys, oh, they broke up because they weren't together for one day in New York because we don't know. Nobody knows.
and that
And
just
I don't
seems like
even,
such a massive jump. It just seems like
yeah.
such a jump. Like, oh, they weren't together from one day in New York. They broke up.
And I don't think they would make any big decision like that anyways. Like say they were maybe not getting along, so they took a little space, right? Like they still have all the photos up, like you said, they're still following. Breakups take some time. Like it takes maybe talking and seeing each other in a couple weeks and seeing how we feel. That's why the whole Kenny and Janae thing is so like something bad has happened because it was within a few hours. It's like
Mm,
everyone unfollowed, taking off photos. Like that's not a
yeah.
normal breakup unless something very sinister has happened. So
Yeah.
I don't even think Brian and Amaya probably know exactly where their relationship's going right now, so we can't know. So
Yeah.
we'll find out, I'm sure soon. But
Yeah.
yeah, reunion is too far away. I feel like
Too
it needs
far
to be
away. We
like two
need
weeks, not
answers. We
4 weeks.
need answers. There's just too much with Amaya and Brian. It's like not right now. Like we are worried about Kenny and Janae and what's going on, and like people are like, figure it out, Ricky and Ashley,
Yeah,
figure out why they broke up, and we're like, we're trying. Like all we
yeah.
can do is ask people and try and get the story. But if no one's talking, like we don't want
hmm
to just pull smoke out of our ass. So
No, we would only tell you guys something if we know for sure, and nobody knows. The accounts that are out there saying they heard it, they don't know either. So I don't think Peacock would even, if they did break up, they're not going to let them talk about it till the reunion because although I don't know if they actually do break up between now and then, how you can hide that because clearly everyone's on them just for not being together for one day. So it's going to be a long month for them for sure.
but they've gone back to their places where they live. I know Amaya and Brian live pretty close to one another, but
hmm
I think Nick and Olandria are on a vacation right now together. So a lot of them are going to be like going home and spending time with their family.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, these are new relationships, regardless of how much they like each other, they want to be together, they want to make it work. They still have only known each other for a few weeks. So it's like you're not going to just fully forget your family, your friends, and you have things to do at home, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So like I said, they probably don't even know what they're doing yet with the relationship. They're still figuring it out. So
Yeah.
it's like they don't come, it's not Love is Blind, right? They don't come out married when you're married, so you gotta be together all the time. And even then, when they get married, we see they don't necessarily do that, but those ones don't usually work out very well.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
as we've seen. So yes, we're saying is we're not saying they're definitely not broken up. We're just saying nobody has proof yet until we hear from them. So, but it's going to
Yeah.
be fun hearing all the speculation for the next month, I guess. It'll give us lots to do
Yeah.
debunking things.
For
So.
sure. For sure.
Yes. Any other receipt reports for
Um, nope. That's the two on Janae and Kenny, the Entertainment Tonight, and then this girl that everyone's attacking, and then yeah, Maya and Brian.
Mhm.
That's it. Oh, and Ariana and Amayan following Kenny. That's yeah,
Yeah.
those are the deets.
Yeah, you'd think somebody would spill in this group. Like, obviously, maybe some are waiting for a bigger platform, but there's got to be some random people that aren't making it on the Vile File, so we're here for you if you want to
Right.
talk.
Right. I'm gonna hit up Chris and JD and
I mean,
Zach, those guys. Yeah, maybe they know something.
we did, I won't say who, but we did get approached to interview someone, but they wanted to be paid. And we're like, I don't know what kind of operation you think we're running over here, but we don't have no
Honestly, we don't know
employees.
if it was legit. Like we
Yeah,
think
we don't.
they
That's why
were
I'm not
like,
saying who, but
yeah, we think that it was trying to lure small podcast hosts with an interview and say, "Oh, pay." And I'm like, "Oh, I
yeah.
think you know how this podcast thing works. You don't get paid
Yeah.
for the interviews."
No, I don't think anyone. I know the Biofile said they do not pay anyone, but obviously they have a big following. So yeah, we're not here to pay people. That doesn't sound like a good time. But I mean, I get it. The Love Island cast is high demand right now, right? But
Yeah.
also
But it's
that
publicity for
demand,
them as well. So I think that's the
yeah,
benefit of going on these podcasts like the Bio Files and Call Her Daddy. But this, I don't know, this one seemed a little like it was like the person was scammy and just using Love Island stars'
yes.
names.
So be
Yeah.
careful, Love Island cast, because someone's out there trying to make money off of you guys. So that
Right.
probably happens a lot, though.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So
Good thing
we
we're
got no
smart.
money for interviews,
And
so
we
we're not.
know better. We know
Yes.
better than to call for the okey doke. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we get into our Real Housewives of Miami?
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right. We were supposed to do that earlier today, but we ran out of time because we yapped too much. But that's why you guys are here, hopefully, because you like to hear us talk because we do that a lot. So, what did you think of the episode? It started off with, I thought it was super cute. Julia's little boys, they were adorable. I thought Martina, I see what she means, how like this is making her more youthful. They seem like super active and fun with the kids.
Yeah.
There's that really cute moment where she said like something like the little boy was like jumping and she's like, I'll always be here to catch you, which was so cute. But
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was sweet
It
seeing
was it
them.
was a very, very sweet. It was a very sweet moment. And
Mhm.
I think for me, I always think about if adopting Black children, if and you're not Black yourself, if you understand the responsibility that comes with that.
Yeah.
Because you live a completely different experience than they do, and
Hmm.
you'll never know or understand their experience. So I always wonder if, parents who adopt Black children educate themselves on, you know, issues
Hmm.
that would affect their children and not necessarily affect them. Black boys
Yeah.
too. So, you know,
Yeah, that's such a good point, especially because, Julia is not even from the United States. She's from Russia, right? And so
mhm,
I don't think Martina is either. So they're both sort of like dealing with that on their own. So like that's a lot of
yeah,
like not responsibility, but yeah, like a lot of can't think of the word I'm thinking of, but
Yeah.
you know, they
I mean,
will.
I think responsibility is the word, right? Like
Yeah.
but it's sometimes you don't think about it because it's not an issue that you face, so you don't think that there's anything to that you don't have a responsibility to anything. You're just like, I'm adopting children that I love and that I think are
Mhm.
beautiful and that I think are cute, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's as simple as that and you don't understand the impact of it. But I always think about that whenever I do see, you know, especially, you know, celebrities or people with a lot of money adopting
Yeah.
you know, black children, black boys, especially, like, do they understand the weight of their decision and are they ready to take on that responsibility to educate themselves and, you know, like understand a different reality that they might have no idea about, not only because they're white, but because they're foreign, you know, so they
Hmm.
might be like completely out of the loop. But regardless, it was a beautiful moment, beautiful
Hmm.
kids, beautiful family, and I'm sure they're going to live a beautiful life. So that's
Yeah,
sweet.
the outfits were a lot.
They're just so cute. Oh,
And
the outfits of the friends, the neon.
well, did it?
Oh,
I think she had the kids in like Balenciaga or something. I don't know, some kind
yes,
of crazy name brands, and I'm
yes.
just like, yeah, like
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't know. That's my kids wear sweatpants. I just couldn't imagine like putting them in expensive designer stuff.
And they
But
probably don't even
obviously,
care, right? Like,
no,
we
it's
don't
so
care about this
silly.
shirt, you know?
And kids grow out of stuff so fast that I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, that's where it starts to feel like you're using them as like dress up dolls, and like that's not
Yeah,
really what you should be focusing on. But then I'm also like, they have the money, I guess, to them. That's just like buying a shirt at like
at Target.
Kmart or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
like
Yeah.
the same thing as like, oh, this is like buying a shirt at the Gap. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
all kids don't wear this.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't spend that on kids' clothes, but obviously they live a different lifestyle. So, but yes, then obviously Alexia and Adriana's outfits were over the top. Them fighting over like who's the better auntie was funny. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, hopefully, yeah, I know Julia. Have you seen she like lost a son when she was younger, when she was married? So I know she's had a son before, but he passed away. So
That's so sad.
yeah, she's had a really sad story. I'm not sure. I can't remember how much they've dived into it this season because I know you're new to watching it.
Yeah,
But
I
in
don't think they
past seasons,
mentioned that. Mm-mm.
yeah, they've gone really into it. But I think he was very young when he passed away. So I think that that's a lot of where this like desire to adopt and have
Yeah.
children comes from, because she's had such a sad story. But yeah, for me, I'm also just concerned because they are older. And like I said, I'm tired raising kids at this age. So like impressed by them to have that energy, but I don't know where
Yeah.
they get it from
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it's impressive. And
two boys is
two
no joke, I'll
boys
tell
and
you that.
yeah.
And it does not get easy. Like when they were babies, you're like, this is so hard. And then you look back and you're like, that was actually super easy. It gets way crazier once they start fighting. So
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully they know what they're getting themselves into, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what did you think of Larsa's closet design?
Oh, beautiful closet. I was like, wow. Like, I knew Larsa had money. I didn't know she had money like that, but I guess if she was married to Scottie Pippen, she's got something. But like, yeah, gorgeous
Right?
closet.
Yeah, she must have had a big divorce
Dream
settlement.
closet. I mean, she must have because even the house itself is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Stephanie, I really like Stephanie. I think she's my favorite character of everyone on the show. Like,
Hmm.
she's so funny with her fingerprints because that's valid, right? Like you will get fingerprints everywhere, but I'm sure she's not worried about it because she's like, I have a maid, so
Yeah.
they'll worry
I know.
about the fingerprints and not me.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not the one out here Windexing the closet door. So I know
Yeah,
I know people get very upset when people say they have OCD just because they like things clean. Like people that actually have OCD are like, that's not what it is. So I don't know if people will like her using that term, but I definitely think if she is that like obsessed about clean stuff, not having kids was a good choice because they're messy as hell. So I'm like, I wouldn't even think about fingerprints on the closet door, but that's something that bothers her. So then they went to the gala, and Alexia and Stephanie got into it a little bit about the narcissist party. I think I talked about this a little bit on our last episode, where Alexia was insistent that the party was not about Todd, but Stephanie thought that it was. So that was where I think Alexia started to get nervous that like her and Todd are gonna get back together, and she doesn't want him to see her talking bad about him. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, I mean, her tone regarding Todd changes like every episode, and it's like it's so
Mhm.
blatant. Like we can visibly see her tone changing. Like, don't talk about my husband to like it's like he's, he's crazy and he's this to like don't talk about my husband.
Mhm.
I don't think it was wrong of Stephanie to assume. I think everybody assumed and said that the party was about Todd at some point. So I don't know why she got so offended when Stephanie said it. But I feel like everybody knew that that party was about Todd and
Yeah.
centered around Todd. A lot of the quotes were to Todd. Like, so I don't really know why she gets so offended. She said, what did she say? That she's too much of an empath to be a
Yeah.
narcissist and that Stephanie is full of herself. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what she said.
Yeah. Whenever someone says they're an empath, that usually means that they are a narcissist. I feel like it's always like the worst people that say that about themselves. It's like
Mhm.
I've only heard reality people say that when they actually don't seem to be one at all. So, but yeah, it feels like they were calling it like a party about Todd, like before the party, and then Alexia changed her tune. So everybody was like super confused. So,
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the girls walk on eggshells around each other, and Stephanie's just like not with the bullshit. She just
yeah.
like says it how it is. Like, yeah, everybody was saying this party's about Todd. So, like, yeah, I'm gonna say that this party's about Todd. But
Hmm.
I mean, the thing is Alexia wants to talk about Todd when she wants to talk about Todd, but when they're on good terms, she doesn't want to talk about Todd. So she's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, well, I don't talk about your husband," and it's like, "Okay, because I don't come venting to all of you guys about my husband. You do come venting to all of us about Todd. So
Hmm.
clearly, we think like we can speak on it if you're coming to us for our advice." We
Yeah.
don't see Stephanie going to the girls like, "Oh, my husband this, my husband that." Like her and her husband actually seem pretty happy.
Hmm. Yeah, like it's confusing for them. Like you can't just complain about him and cry like we saw in the first episode. She was bawling to them about how bad Todd was, and now she's trying to backtrack because they're like getting back together. So obviously they don't
Yeah,
know what to do.
bizarre.
Yeah.
So bizarre.
So then we got into Gertie's party. She was calling it a celebration of life, which I'm like, I just feel like that's the wrong term for a beating cancer party. Because when I hear celebration of life, I think funeral,
Funeral?
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm
Some
like,
people call a funeral a celebration of life. You're right.
yeah, I always think of that. So I was like, no, like this, there's got to be a better term for it. But
Yeah.
it does make sense, like celebrating life. It makes more sense for not a funeral. I get it, but I'm also like, it should just be a different name, I think, for Gertie's party. But like a text, something about texting, because that was the whole theme of the party, really.
I think that was the theme of the party. I think it really seemed like she wasn't planning on doing that, but she got triggered once she seen that Julia was talking or still talking about it to her husband and trying to
Hmm.
explain her side to her husband and whatever conversation that Julia had with Gertie's husband clearly set her off and triggered her to where
Hmm.
she pivoted and said, "Okay, now I'm going to do this moment with these text messages." Now, I don't know what the text messages proved because they didn't even really seem to say anything except for the fact that Julia didn't ask her to come on the trip, that she
Hmm.
invited her on the trip, which okay, if I mean, I don't okay, like
Yeah.
that proves one narrative, but I think that what happened with Julia and Gertie was so complex that that little piece of like
Yeah.
information becomes irrelevant. But I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you think about all of the girls, like their response to the text?
I thought they were a little hard on Gertie. I mean, it was dramatic, but this is Housewives, right? Like, we need these big moments. And I feel like Julia is the one at the narcissist party that brought it back up again after Gertie thought they had squashed it and thought they were moving on. And then I think Gertie felt in that moment like Julia was trying to embarrass her a little bit in front of
Yeah.
everybody. So I think she was just like, well, you're gonna bring it up at a party and embarrass me. Let me one up you and see how I can really embarrass you. So,
Yeah.
you know, it was a little far, and it is sort of like similar to what we've been talking about on the OC. Like you're sharing private text, so you don't expect your castmates to do that. But given the subject matter and that like this fight about this cruise ship keeps getting brought up in front of everybody, I don't think the texts were like that personal.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a big deal, but the girls did. They did not like it. So,
Yeah, I thought it was like again, it's just like I thought, first of all, rude of everyone to just take Julia's side and walk out. Julia, you brought it up at the party. You brought
mhm.
it up to my husband. You keep bringing it up. But just because you don't like the way that I bring it up, like you want to go low, I'm going to go to hell. That's what Gertie
Yeah.
did. Like she went to hell. Did she take it
Mhm.
too far? Probably. But I'm not the one that continuously keeps bringing up the situation. So if we're deading it, we're deading it. But
Mhm.
if we're bringing it up, we're bringing it up, and you can't control how I bring it up. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And you get to bring it up however you want. And I sometimes I think that the women are unfair to Gertie. Like, I appreciate that Kiki and Lisa and who's the other woman that stayed like that, and they were like, it is, and Stephanie, you know, she
Yeah,
stayed,
Stephanie.
and then because I'm gonna stay now, I'm seen as kissing Gertie's ass because
Yeah.
I could say the same thing to you that you're kissing Julia's ass by running out behind her. You know,
Mhm.
like I don't have to. I can hear both sides. I can be open to both sides. I don't have to be okay with what Gertie did, but to be like, oh, it was like Carrie was up there and they poured the pig's blood on her. It was, you know what I mean? I think it is just so, it's so dramatic. And it's like,
Mhm.
if Julia can bring it up, so can Gertie. So
Yeah.
if you don't want to bring it up anymore, then don't bring it up anymore. But you've now brought it up twice to where you not only brought it up at a party and embarrassed me, maybe you thought because it was just the girls that it wasn't that big of a deal, but then you then are now going to my husband
Mhm.
trying to like tell him your side. Like, it's
Yeah,
my
that was
husband.
weird.
He doesn't need to hear your side. Like,
Yeah. And he's not going to take your side, so why bother even explaining it to him anyway? So, yeah,
yeah,
I think Gertie had every right to show the receipts, and it's like a lot of people post receipts of text messages on their social media. So this was just like similar. It was like, okay, these are the
yeah.
receipts. You want to, yeah. So if someone keeps like accusing you of lying and they're not giving the full truth, how else was she supposed to get it out there? But I
I
mean,
know. I wish I would have paused the TV screen and read the text because, like I said, the only bomb she really dropped was that okay, like she got invited and wasn't didn't ask to come on the trip. Okay, but what about like everything else? Like there were so many layers to why they were fighting, which still to this day doesn't make any sense to me. It's like,
no.
girls, get the hell over it, okay?
Right. Yeah, I agree with Larsa where she's like, I can't read all of that. It's too much writing. It's too tiny. Like, I don't think a lot of people at the party like sat there and read it, like every line of it. So I think it was more of Gertie just like proving the
Shock
point.
factor. Yeah, it was more of a
Yes.
shock value to it. Like
Yeah.
more so than like I'm really like spilling tea and receipts here. It was more just
Yeah.
like a shock value. Like, okay, you want to keep talking about it? We can keep talking about it.
Yeah. And Adriana was so messy going to Julia, being like, "No, you post your text then, like you do it too."
Right,
I
right.
love
Like,
that.
girl, like, no, that's not gonna make it any better.
I loved it. I'm like, yes, this is what we need. Like she did it, now you do it, and then it'll all be better. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
thought Julia seemed pretty mad. Like she wanted to explode, but she didn't. But I was surprised all the girls like rallied around her. I understand like they could see she was embarrassed, but I don't think Gertie did anything that bad. So,
Me neither.
but I
I
liked
don't
it.
think so either. And I think like if we're deading it, we're deading it. If you want to talk about it, we're gonna talk about it and don't control the way that I talk about it. So
Did you see this Bachelor in Paradise drama about this deading it term? That's like a normal term, right? Like I hear it
yeah.
all the time. I know.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time.
Oh
Like
my
you
God. I'm like,
say
what?
it.
Are we not allowed to say that anymore
Nah,
now? You know, like people like to come up with, new things that we can't say
it's a
every day. I'm
slur.
like, is that a slur now? Like,
Yes.
please, no, like let me know please.
It's offensive to dead people, so you have to stop saying it. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
lordy lord.
No, but this guy on Bachelor in Paradise, he used the term deading it. And I don't know, I guess the Bachelor in Paradise watchers, viewers, just not heard that term before and they all like went wild about it. Like, that's not a real term. I've never heard that before. And yeah, it was just
Who's
funny.
watching The Bachelor in Paradise?
I
Clearly
know.
not our demographic because what?
And I'm old too, and I
Deading
know
it is
deading
like
it.
very common, very common.
Yes.
One wouldn't even say old school, like type,
Yeah, like I didn't know clog it, but I know dead it. Like that's just it's very common. So I
I
was
can believe
very
you didn't know clock it.
I kn- I've seen that. Like I knew people did that. I just didn't know that meant clock it. But I've seen that. Yes.
Okay.
I knew that was a thing that you do. I just didn't know that it was clock it. I've heard clock it. I've heard both things. I just didn't know they were together a thing.
Okay.
So but dead it is like common knowledge to me. So I was shocked to see it was such an uproar. Although I think the guy used it like 50 times or something, like he was using it a lot. So that part, people laughing about that was like fine. But then the people that were like, that's I've never heard this, that was weird to me. So I don't know
Hmm.
who's watching Bachelor in Paradise, but they need to be a little cooler because that just was not a
Yeah,
weird
they need
term
to
to
get
me
a
at
little
all. So
bit more hip with the lingo. Yeah.
yes. Not that I'm one to talk, but so
That's so funny.
what else? I think that was it. They ended on the party and everybody freaking
We
out,
got a
but
to be continued, right? Didn't we?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Okay.
was nothing
That's
after
going to
that.
be a
Just
continuation of the fight because I did see everyone, like the people that were in there with Gertie were going out and talking to Julia. The people that were out there talking to Julia were coming in talking to Gertie. So we'll get a continuation of that fight. But I'm Team Gertie.
me too. I love
Yeah.
Gertie and she's a Capricorn, so I have to ride for her because that's just how Capricorns are. If you do something a little bit to them, then they're gonna go to hell, like you said. So
Yeah, they're
and
gonna
she did
take
it.
it there. That's I'm just saying that. I mean, Julia started it is the way I see it. So
Yeah.
hell,
And I think like obviously Gertie going through cancer for the last few years and surgeries and all of that, I think when you've dealt with all of that, you're kind of like what's putting up a few text messages is really not a big deal. So
yeah, yeah,
she went for it.
she went for it. It's like,
Well, I think we'll come back in a couple of days or maybe tomorrow to do our perfect match tea drop because we have so much to say and that one's going to be super spicy. So I don't want to rush it. So tune
yeah,
in a couple of days for our perfect match tea drop. We'll give you guys a little scoop on some of the spoilers of who's going to end up together and some of the behind the scenes tea that we've dug up so far because the show hasn't even started yet and we already know a whole lot. So we're
well,
super excited to do that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see you guys back before Perfect Match premieres on Friday for our little Perfect Match tea drop to prepare for the party on
Yeah.
Friday.
Yep. It's going to be a crazy couple of weeks. So we
Yes.
cannot wait. So we will see you guys then.
See you
Thank
there. Bye,
you. See
guys.
ya.